Okay, the purpose of this video is to demonstrate to you the correct way to dry mount your photographs using rubber cement. Most important thing to do to start is to make sure that your work surface is completely clean, whether you're working on a student desk or one of the tables in the makerspace. Make sure that your work surface is clear of anything you're not using, you don't need, and that the surface itself is clean. Next important thing is to make sure that you have a surface to cut on. You're not allowed to cut on the student desks or on the tables in the makerspace. You have to cut on one of the green or black cutting mats from my room or Mrs. Plebin's room. Make sure you have all your supplies. There'll be a list in the description of this video, but you will need your rubber cement, a rubber cement pickup, pencil, X-Acto knife, steel ruler, your print, the board you're mounting it to, 2 sheets of tracing paper or 1 sheet torn in half neatly. A scrap of paper is also a good idea, just a recycled scrap of regular paper. I have a couple demo pieces already finished to show you what a project looks like when you're done. Notice that the photograph itself is mounted neat and straight. The top and the sides are the exact same width. The print is signed and titled. Title on the left, signature on the right. The writing does not go into the right or left margins, and it is done in pencil. That's important for consistency. So, first thing you need to do is to make sure that your print is trimmed as neatly as you can. Now, I have this at an arbitrary size. You will probably make sure that your print is set to an exact size in Photoshop, and the print will be the size that you wanted. We'll go over that in class, but you're just going to trim off any white space or white paper that you don't need on your photo. I'm going to give you a close-up of this so that you can see my ruler is going to trim off a sliver of this print. I don't want to leave any white. I want to make sure that the print itself is trimmed neatly. Good sharp X-Acto knife should not require you to press very hard at all. So I will trim all 4 sides straight without any white left on the paper. Again, with a sharp blade, it happens pretty quick. Doesn't cut on the first pass, give it a nice gentle pass again. You are not pressing with a sharp X-Acto knife. There you go. So now my print is cut, neat, has no white around the edges, and because I use Photoshop to size it, it is square. Here's my board. It is much bigger than I need it to be. I'm not going to worry about that right now. We'll cut it down later. But I'm going to show you how to make sure that the left and the top of the board are measured and ready to have the picture mounted to them. I will only concern myself with the left and the top edge. This is a relatively small print and a large board, so I have a bit of space to deal with, which is good. I think that a large mount looks a little nicer than a small mount. You don't want the board to look like it was a scrap laying around that you just picked. I think that looks nice here and here. Looks like a nice 2-inch space, so I'll measure for 2 inches and I'll make a couple marks. I'll stay on this camera to let you see that. So I will make 2 arcs just inside 2 inches. Now they're just inside the 2-inch marks because I do want to cover them. I don't want them to be sticking out when I'm finished. Let me show you this. I have 1, 2 marks on the left and 1, 2 on the right. Or I'm sorry, on the top. Those marks are at 2 inches, and I know my picture will be straight. Next step is to rubber cement both the photo and the mounting board. Rubber cement should have some flow to it. This is a little thick, but thick's okay, better than thin. Okay? So that's what a good rubber cement viscosity should look like, maybe a touch thinner than that. I want to put a thin, even coat on my entire photo. Here's the photo on the back. I'm just going to cover it with rubber cement and spread it out as thin as I can, but not miss anything.
Assuming you make it quickly dries, and we do need this to dry on the back of the print and on the mounting board. So there's that. I'll set that here. My board already has rubber cement on it to speed up this video, but it goes all the way out past my marks and a little past where I think the photo's going to be. So I have more than I need. I haven't missed anything where the photo's going to be, and I know my entire photo is covered. You will have to wait until this dries. If it takes any longer, I will speed up the video. It's important that it's dry because dry rubber cement does not stick to anything but other dry rubber cement. Notice I've been putting my paper down on my board where rubber cement already is, and now since this is dry, I can touch paper to it, and it doesn't stick. But if I were to put this down dry rubber cement to dry rubber cement, it would definitely stick.
So, not quite dry. Because I have dry rubber cement, I'm going to take 2 pieces of tracing paper, overlap them where my photo is going to go, make sure that I can see my pencil marks on the top and on the left. I will set my photo down on the overlap as close to the final position as I can make it. Then I have every opportunity to move this photo around and just cover up my pencil marks. I'm going to show you a close-up of this as I move it around. There's a pencil mark, and I want that photo to just cover it up. If it's crooked, I'll see my second pencil mark, and I want to just cover that up too. That's why 2 marks. If you do 2 marks, you'll have it in a straight line. So now I'll double check, triple check myself, and then I'll check my top marks and just cover those up as well. If I have these 4 marks covered, just covered, my print will be straight at the top and straight on the left, according to how it's cut, assuming it's cut straight. Now, here's an important part. Put your hand down, press down on the left-hand side of the print and the left-hand piece of tracing paper. Remove the right piece of tracing paper. Stick the photo down where it leaves the remaining piece of tracing paper, and then hold that down firmly and remove the other piece of tracing paper. Press from the middle out, stick your print. look will show you. You cannot see my pencil marks. They are covered. Okay? You should also be able to see that my print looks very, very straight. Top and the left-hand side are now perfectly straight and perfectly even. Now that I'm done with that, I have extra rubber cement. I want to get rid of my extra rubber cement by taking my rubber cement pickup and simply erasing, removing, picking up any extra rubber cement. You will see some globs of it sticking together, and that's what this does. It just picks them up, wipes them off. You do not want to roughly put the rubber cement remover on your photo. You can mark your photo, get dirty, but you don't want to miss any either. Don't leave glue boogers. This is a photo from a inkjet printer, a home printer. It's a scrap photo, and it's almost impossible not to damage it with the rubber cement pickup. This will not happen with your inkjet prints from school, but you still need to be careful. There's a lot of extra rubber cement here. The extras you can stick on your scraps of paper. Dry rubber cement, pick up dirt, fingerprints, make marks, so you don't want to leave it there. Make sure that it's clean. We're good. Now that the print is good on the top and the left, I need to measure the right and the bottom. Now that I changed the angles, I see a little extra rubber cement. This was 2 inches, this was 2 inches, so I need to measure from the side 2 inches, and from the bottom slightly more than 2 inches. The smallest noticeable amount more. We'll talk about that in a second. So I'll set my ruler down, make 2 marks at 2 inches away from my photo, just on the other side of 2 inches, so that I can cut off this straight line I'm about to make. I won't want to see any of that. I will cut it off on the paper cutter. Now, the print is straight, the right and the left and the top are the same size. The bottom needs to be the smallest noticeable amount bigger to incorporate the signature that we saw in the previous finished prints, the title and the signature below it. Also, if the bottom is larger, it lets anyone know if your print is an abstract, can't tell which way is up, you know which way is the bottom. It's the slightly larger piece of mat board. So 2 inches is not very big. You will notice an extra 1/4 inch. So I will do 1, 2, and 1/4 inch. Make a mark. 1, 2, and 1/4 inch. Measure those 2 lines, cut, and you will have a perfectly mounted, straight photo. I'm going to title it and sign it before I cut it, so you don't have to watch me do that part. It's not in front of any of these cameras. In pencil, in quotes, on the bottom left, I will give it a title. This is my daughter camping with her friends. In quotes. I know my signature. I will try to end it right on the edge of the photo. You can see camping with friends, and there's my signature. Okay? The last step would be simply to cut these pencil lines straight on the paper trimmer on the other side of the classroom, and then you should have a perfectly mounted straight photograph. Any questions before you start? please come see me. I'll have this demo done in class, but this is for you to watch in case you missed it, in case you have any questions about anything else. Again, keep your work surface clean. Don't cut on the tables. Remember what I said about blade safety. And if you mess up, it's okay. You can try it again. Thank you.